Have you ever heard of a man so powerful? He ruled the skies? A man who didn't fight with bullets or knives, but with airplanes. A man whose death is still a mystery, because some people believe he didn't die at all. This is the story of Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the legendary Lord of the Skies. Amado was born in 1956 in Sinaloa, Mexico. A quiet kid, a smart kid. But he grew up in a world where power was everything, and the people with power were the drug lords. As a teenager, Amado joined his uncle Don Neto, one of the founders of the Guadalajara cartel. Here, Amado didn't learn violence. He learned business. He learned how traffickers think, how money moves, how loyalty works. While others used fear, Amado used strategy. When the Guadalajara cartel collapsed, many leaders went to prison. Others died. But Amado, he saw opportunity. He moved to Ciudad Juarez, one of the most important border cities in Mexico. Here, he didn't just join the Juarez cartel. He took it over, quietly, smartly, patiently. This is where the legend begins. Amado noticed something nobody else saw. Every cartel was fighting for land routes, roads, tunnels. Too risky, too slow. So Amado looked up. He began buying airplanes. Not one, not two, but a whole fleet. Boeing 727s, cargo planes, private jets, even military-style aircraft. He transformed the drug world by using the sky as his highway. His planes flew under radar, landed in hidden runways, and carried tons of cocaine, far more than any cartel could move on the ground. People couldn't believe it. A drug lord with his own air force? That's when they named him El Señor de los Cielos, the Lord of the Skies. By the early 1990s, Amado was one of the richest and most powerful drug lords on the planet. His estimated fortune? More than $25 billion. He didn't show off like other bosses. No gold guns, no loud parties. Amado worked in silence. He paid police generals, politicians, border agents, airport workers, military commanders, everyone, and everyone feared him. He didn't rule with violence. He ruled with money and intelligence. But power always brings attention. By 1993, the United States and Mexico decided Amado must fall. The DEA hunted his planes, arrested his men, and froze millions of dollars. Amado became a ghost, sleeping in a different house every night, traveling with body doubles, never trusting anyone. He knew the end was coming. And then, on July 4th, 1997, the world heard shocking news. Amado Carrillo Fuentes was dead. Not shot, not arrested, dead from plastic surgery. Doctors said he wanted to change his face and escape the authorities. But the story didn't end there, because soon after, the two doctors who operated on him were found dead inside steel barrels. Some people said the body didn't look like Amado. Some said his coffin was filled with cement. Some said he used the surgery as a distraction to disappear. Even today, people whisper, Amado didn't die. He escaped. After his death, the Juarez cartel fell into chaos. Family fought family. Leaders turned on each other. The empire Amado built slowly cracked. But his legend? It never died. Amado Carrillo Fuentes remains one of the most intelligent, strategic and mysterious figures in cartel history. A man who didn't rule land. A man who ruled the skies. When Amado Carrillo Fuentes died in 1997, Mexico didn't become safer. It became more dangerous. Because the death of the Lord of the Skies created a power vacuum, and everyone wanted a piece of his empire. This is the story of what happened after Amado. How the Juarez cartel fell into war, betrayal, and bloodshed. After Amado's mysterious death, the Juarez cartel didn't have a clear new boss. But two men tried to take control. Vicente Carrillo Fuentes, Amado's brother. Rodolfo Carrillo Fuentes, another brother. And for a short time, the Carrillo Fuentes family controlled the cartel again. But Amado's leadership style, calm, intelligent, businesslike, was gone. The new leaders were not like him, and the world around them was changing fast. There was another group waiting in the shadows. La Línea, a brutal armed wing of the Juarez cartel. They were younger, more violent, more desperate. Without Amado's brains, they used bullets instead of strategy. And that changed everything. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the Juarez cartel began to collapse internally. Corruption increased. Leaders fought each other. Alliances broke, and enemies circled around But the biggest threat wasn't from inside. It was from the outside. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman and the Sinaloa cartel wanted the Juarez route, especially the border city of Ciudad Juarez, one of the most important drug corridors into the United States. If Amado had been alive, he might have negotiated or stopped the war. But without him, the Juarez cartel was weak, and El Chapo didn't negotiate. he advanced. This started one of the deadliest cartel wars in Mexican history. Ciudad Juarez became a war zone. Cartels used hitmen, snipers, car bombs, assassinations, kidnapping, torture, and even teenagers as soldiers. In 2010 alone, Juarez had around 3,000 murders, one of the highest murder rates in the world. Sinaloa cartel moved like a machine, using strategy and money. La Línea fought back with fear and chaos. But without Amado's leadership, the Juarez cartel was losing fast. One by one, Amado's relatives fell. Rodolfo Carrillo Fuentes was murdered. Vicente Carrillo Fuentes, his brother, was arrested in 2014. Many lieutenants were killed or captured. The cartel lost control of Juarez. Their money lines collapsed. The once mighty empire of the skies collapsed like a broken wing. By the mid-2010s, the Juarez cartel was only a shadow of what Amado had built. Even though his empire fell, Amado's legend didn't. In Mexico, people still talk about him. How he flew jets full of cocaine. How he controlled the largest drug air fleet in history. How he ruled with intelligence, not chaos. And how his death still raises questions. Some older traffickers say quietly, Amado was the last true businessman. Others whisper, he didn't die. He escaped. No one knows the full truth. But one thing is certain. The world changed after the Lord of the Skies left it. 28 years after his supposed death, people in Mexico are still asking the same question. Did Amado Carrillo Fuentes really die? Or did the Lord of the Skies disappear into the clouds he once ruled? Dive into the mysteries, secrets, and theories that continue to surround the most intelligent drug lord of his aft. After Amado was declared dead in 1997, something strange happened. His funeral became one of the most expensive, most private ceremonies ever seen. Witnesses said, the coffin was extremely heavy. It was surrounded by soldiers, and nobody could confirm it was actually his body. Some people claim the coffin was filled with cement, a trick used to hide the fact that the real body wasn't inside. Others believe the cement was used to protect the body from being stolen by enemies. But the truth? Nobody knows. Two plastic surgeons who performed Amado's surgery vanished shortly after. A few weeks later, their bodies were found inside steel barrels, tortured and murdered. Why would someone kill the doctors? There are two theories. They failed and cost Amado his life. Some say the Carrillo Fuentes family blamed the doctors for Amado's death. They knew too much. Maybe Amado wasn't dead, and the doctors were killed to protect the secret. This theory became extremely popular in Mexico. Famous face that didn't match. When authorities released photos of Amado's body, people noticed something wrong. The face looked swollen, strange, and not exactly like Amado. Some experts said it wasn't him at all. Others said the surgery caused the swelling. But the big question remains, were we shown the real body, or a body double? The mystery of his billions. Amado was worth over $25 billion, but after his death, only a small portion of the money was found. Properties vanished, bank accounts were emptied, airplanes disappeared. Even the DEA admitted they never found most of his fortune. So, where did the money go? Many believe that the money was moved before his death, as part of an escape plan. The king who prepared his exit. Unlike other drug lords, Amado was extremely smart. He built safe houses in multiple countries, created a large network of corrupt officials, bought fake passports, owned airplanes that could take him anywhere, prepared millions of dollars in hidden deposits. Some cartel insiders have said, Amado planned to disappear long before the surgery. This is why many believe the plastic surgery was a cover, a distraction, the theory that refuses to die. In Mexico, especially in Sinaloa and Juarez, older people whisper a powerful theory. Amado Carrillo Fuentes faked his death and escaped to Chile, Cuba, or Argentina. There are multiple reported sightings. A man who looked like Amado living quietly in Argentina. A retired Mexican businessman in Chile buying property. A heavily guarded ranch in southern Mexico rumored to be his hiding place. None of these sightings were officially confirmed, but none were ever disproven. Why his legend survives. Most drug lords die violently, but Amado, his ending is a puzzle. He was the only major cartel boss in history who had a calm personality, avoided unnecessary violence, preferred business over blood, ran the largest air transport network in the world, and possibly escaped without a trace. This made him almost mythical, a ghost, a mastermind, a man who may have walked away from $1 billion empire and disappeared into history. Before he became a legend, before he became carry tons of cocaine, land on secret runways in the desert, disappear into the night sky. The DEA called them. Amado didn't hire regular pilots. He hired ex-Air Force pilots, retired commercial airline captains, military navigators, mechanics trained in aviation warfare. They were paid extremely well. Some pilots made $500,000 per flight, and they followed strict rules. No phones, no radios, no talking, no landing unless cleared, no contact with anyone outside the mission. If a pilot broke the rules, he never flew again. Some disappeared forever. To support his air empire, Amado built hidden runways across Sinaloa, Chihuahua, Sonora, Durango, Coahuila, Baja California, and parts of South America. These runways were short, unmarked, deep in mountains or deserts, invisible from satellites, protected by armed men. Some were built on ranches that looked normal from above, but at night lights would appear, and planes landed silently. This alone terrified governments. They realized Amado had created a private air network across 2 continents. Amado wasn't just powerful in Mexico. Colombian cartels, including the Cali and Medellin groups, trusted him more than any other Mexican trafficker. Why? Because Amado delivered. He could move 10 tons, 8 tons, even 15 tons of cocaine in a single flight. These insane numbers made him the main supplier for many Colombian organizations. Some Colombians even said, "If Amado says your drugs will arrive, your drugs will arrive." This trust made him untouchable. How Amado outsmarted governments. Amado had a simple strategy: money plus silence plus intelligence. He bribed airport officials, radar operators, military commanders, police chiefs, politicians, border agents, everyone. He knew flight schedules. He knew when radars were off. He knew which airports were vulnerable. Sometimes he even used fake emergency landings to hide his planes. His intelligence network was so strong that the DEA once said, "Amado knows our moves before we make them." Why no one could stop him? 3 reasons. His system was too advanced. Other cartels couldn't copy it. He used very little violence. Less violence, less government pressure. He kept a low profile. No flashy lifestyle. No big parties. No attention. He wasn't a warlord. He was an air businessman. And business was good. Outro, strong, mysterious. The Lord of the Skies didn't just build an empire. He built the first and only private air force in cartel history. He didn't rule the streets. He ruled the skies. And even today, governments admit, nobody has both feared and admired. Was he really dead? Did he escape? Nobody know. Intelligence, strategy, and timing can surpass power and violence. He ruled the skies, vanished without capture, and became an eternal icon. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, the Lord of the Skies, wasn't just a drug lord. He was a strategist, an air king, and a ghost. He built an empire that no one else could replicate. He disappeared on his own terms. And even today, whether alive or dead, his legend soars above the clouds. Untouchable, unstoppable, unforgettable.